one of the things that causes people to minimize taking the risks that can help move them forward in their creative projects, in their personal undertakings, in their businesses and otherwise, are even when there's something which could be done at next to no cost, like literally just the time we put into it. There's this stage fright effect of worrying that what if I fail and then everybody sees it, right? And it's because what we're picturing is, it's like we go up on literally a stage, we give a talk, and there's going to be a crowd, and that crowd is of a fixed size in our imagination. And then if we do poorly or do well, so many people will either see and praise us or laugh at us, make jokes, bring it up later in a way that we're not excited about, whatever. But here's the thing. The way the internet works, the way the modern world is connected, very rarely in a lot of these kind of cases when you're producing content, is it a fixed audience size. Instead, what happens is work that you do that's exceptional, it's extraordinary, that really stands out, gets a big audience in front of it from people who all share it, retweet it, post it on their friends' walls, message others about it, talk about it in person at conferences and send people your way. Content you do that's not as successful, there's no audience in the room. There's no one to be embarrassed in front of. There's like the 5 or 10 or 20 people who looked at it and were like, nah. They didn't share it, didn't go viral, didn't post about it, didn't share it, didn't retweet any of that stuff. And so what winds up happening is this very nice effect, this emergent effect, that it's not like you have to go out of your way to contrive this to be the case, that if you just make a lot of content, and that, of course, that's been my approach now for many years, right? Whether I was writing weekly entries on Hobby Game Dev, whether I was doing nightly prototypes for Interaction Artist, whether I've been doing the podcast now for, 90 episodes or whatever. YouTube videos, I got over 300 YouTube videos. YouTube's default interface won't even scroll to the bottom of the YouTube videos I've been putting up here for so long. But the reason I point those out is that out of those, I've had some episodes, some videos, some other things that have done really well, some blog entries that did really well, got lots of traffic, and I've had plenty that were kind of mediocre or weak, at least in terms of their metrics, in terms of who they reached, in terms of how many people saw them. And that's fine. That's great. That's the way it ought to be, right? That means that when I run into somebody at IndieCade, at GDC, at E3, at just wherever, on the internet, via Twitter, whatever it might be, the odds of them having seen something of mine that was extraordinary are way better than the odds of them having seen something of mine that was weak, that didn't come out that great. Because, again, the stuff that wasn't that great didn't get shared. Got massively overshadowed by other stuff. Same thing's true across my games, right? I've worked on over 100 games that are released, out of which, and this is going to be kind of generous to myself here, maybe 5, there's a chance that someone I talked to at some conference event, friend of my family's, whatever, is a chance that like maybe one of those 5 games out of the 100 I've worked on they've heard of, or played, or know someone who's played, or at least even recognize the name of, right? And the other 95, they've never heard of. No negative opinion about it, no first impression for me, because maybe in those games, 50 people, 100 people, maybe in some cases thousands of people, but scattered all over the world, which is not a whole lot, played them as compared to the games that did better and had millions of players. In those cases, the odds are way better that that's the game someone's going to associate me with. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Occasionally, there are runaway memes of somebody who does something embarrassing, and there's a GIF or there's a news story or whatever. These things are ultra rare, right? I mean, the vast range of what most, again, not sure of a better word, mediocre content on the web consists of is not even meme level interesting to share, right? It's not even our cringe. It's not even something people want to take the time out of their busy lives, out of their limited attention, to take the energy to mock, because it's not even interesting enough to mock, right? There's almost this ego element where we assume, since I think the way my friend Charles phrased it, is that we are all player one in our lives, right? We're all the main character. We assume from our ego that the whole world's watching us, that they all see equally our failures and our successes. When the reality is, again, they don't care about our failures most of the time. Like not even making this up, 95% of the time from my specific game metrics, maybe 98% of the time from my other content, my blog entries, my YouTube videos, podcast episodes, whatever, people just don't care, don't see it, it's fine, whatever. And the things that really pick up, that's what they notice. But even if there's a situation that happens, you get wrapped up in some sort of meme, some sort of reshare, some sort of post, some sort of whatever, at, worst case scenario, people have heard of you for something. And it's hard to overstate the value and the benefit of that. Now, I'm not proposing you go out there and do something wacky or dumb just for the sake of trying to get something viral. I'm not trying to say to stir things up for controversy, to try to latch into attention. People can tell when you do that. Usually it just gets ignored. But when those things happen, they ultimately will, at best, lead some people to your work who discover some other things there that they wouldn't have found otherwise. Or worst case scenario, you become someone who in a room being discussed about possible panelists on a subject, about possible people who can speak to an issue, they've heard of you. And I'll tell you what, it's oftentimes the case that obscurity is a much bigger problem than even a negative impression. And we're not talking harsh negative, right? We're not talking about you going out of your way to say something crazy inappropriate or alienating or awful, or don't do those things, right? But as long as what you're doing is just producing honest, like your best content you can, consistently, whether it's writing, whether it's podcasts, whether it's videos, whether it's games, whether it's illustrations, right? Whatever it might be, as long as you're putting out there your best work consistently, the great work is going to really outshine, just completely eclipse massively, because it gets shared, the stuff that's not as good. And so it's this reassurance that, go out there, keep giving speeches, to use again the stage metaphor, and don't worry about being embarrassed in front of people, because if you do one that's not that great, there's no crowd there. Certainly when I started my YouTube episodes, like I said, I've been doing YouTube now for many years. The dailies have been more recent. Still been doing that a while too. But like my first videos were so bad, I've taken down even some of the oldest, even though you can't get to them through the normal scroll. But when I would do them, 20 people would watch them. 15 people would watch them, right? 7 sometimes. Maybe 30. And it's only really once traffic picked up that, if you scroll way down there, you're going to see now, like those videos in many cases have thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, whatever. But that's only after I've accumulated traffic through newer videos doing better. And that's people who go back through the catalog and browse the old stuff. And I should probably go back through that and trim out some of the weaker, messier, grungy stuff. I mean, some of it, like I'm sweating in my Atlanta apartment where I had no reasonable AC, or really loud AC banging, so I couldn't do it while I'm recording videos and working. And anyway, neither here nor there. Point today, put your work out there. Don't be afraid of the failure, because that failure is not going to affect you in the same ways success will. Right? People will remember for the good stuff that you do. People will remember for the stuff that really stands out. Go out there with some confidence, make some stuff, keep making stuff. And then real quick plug, once again, getyourselftodothings.com. If you like this sort of thing, put together more of this kind of material, more of this kind of messages, how it all fits together in a bigger plan, some action steps, some more kinds of support you're going to find out more about, and you can join that list. Thanks for always tuning in. Have another video for y'all tomorrow. Bye for now.